You've probably heard the term smart city, right? It gets thrown around all the time. But what does it actually mean? Is it just some sci-fi buzzword for a tech utopia? Or is it something much, much more important, like a blueprint for our survival? And maybe the biggest question of all is, as we're racing to build this future, are we making sure we're building it for everyone?
All right, let's just start with one number, a really big one, 68%.
So what's that? Well, that's the slice of the entire human population the UN expects will be living in cities by 2050. We're talking more than 2/3 of all of us. And look, this isn't just some minor trend. It is a massive, fundamental shift in how we live as a species. And it's happening fast, like breathtakingly fast.
So you gotta ask, right? With billions more people pouring into these urban centers, are our cities ready? Can they actually handle that kind of strain?
Okay, to really get our heads around just how big of a deal this is, let's first take a look at the pressure our cities are under right now. I mean, check out this imbalance. It's kinda nuts. Cities take up just a tiny sliver of the planet's land, only 3%. But they are absolute giants when it comes to consumption. We're talking 60 to 80% of all energy used and a whopping 75% of all carbon emissions. And the scarier part? As they get more crowded, that strain just gets worse and worse, basically turning them into ground zero for all sorts of disasters.
So, what do we do about this? What's the answer? Well, for a lot of people, the solution has a name: the smart city. And the whole idea is pretty simple, really. Using technology to make our cities way more efficient, way more resilient, and just, well, better places to live.
And here's a really powerful example of what that could look like. Disaster response. Just think about it for a second. An earthquake alert hits your phone moments before the shaking starts. You see drones flying over flooded streets searching for people who need help. And AI is in the background coordinating the entire rescue mission seamlessly. You know, in a world where climate risks are getting bigger every year, this isn't just cool sci-fi stuff. This is a lifeline.
But it's not all about big disasters. The smart city idea is supposed to make everyday life way better, too. The possibilities are huge. Think about it. Instead of a dumb energy grid that just pushes out power, you'd have a smart one that manages the flow to cut down on waste. And instead of sitting in endless traffic jams, you'd have traffic signals that are actually reacting to what's happening on the road in real time. The key thing to get here is that these aren't just a bunch of separate gadgets. They're all connected, all working together to be super efficient, saving us resources, time, and yeah, even money.
And this isn't just theory, it's actually happening right now. A great example is Singapore. They're a real leader here. What they do is they use crowdsourced data, all anonymous of course, to see where people are really trying to go. Then they create brand new bus routes that are way more efficient. And what's the result? Better public transit for everyone. And hey, fewer cars clogging up the roads.
Okay, but how does all this magic actually happen? Well, none of it is possible without a seriously powerful digital backbone. And that backbone, that's 5G. And no, I'm not just talking about being able to download movies faster on your phone. For a smart city, 5G is like its central nervous system. It's the thing that lets millions and millions of devices, everything from tiny traffic sensors to your water meter, all communicate with each other instantly. And that speed, that reliability, that's what makes the really futuristic stuff, like self-driving cars or those real-time energy grids, even possible in the first place.
But, and this is a big but, this is where that shiny, perfect vision starts to get a little complicated. Because you can build the most amazing high-tech network on the planet, but what good is it if it doesn't actually reach everyone?
And that brings us to what might be the single biggest obstacle for the whole smart city dream: the digital divide. The barriers here are real, and they're very human. We're talking about things like maybe there just isn't good internet infrastructure in a certain neighborhood. Or for some people, the cost of a smartphone and a data plan is just too much. It could also be about digital skills. Not everyone grew up with this stuff. And then there are the bigger issues, like some communities just being left out of the conversation entirely. The danger here is that we end up creating a two-tiered city.
And look, this isn't just some hypothetical problem. Researchers like Corelli's and his team have pointed this out. They say that while the tech offers these incredible, unprecedented opportunities, these barriers are real, and they get in the way of full digital inclusion. So what does that really mean? It means we're at risk of building a world of digital haves and have-nots.
So this means we need to think bigger. We need a goal that's not just about the tech, but that puts people, actual human beings, right at the very center of it all.
And you know what? That goal already exists. It's something called the UN's Sustainable Development Goal 11. And listen to the words they use: inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. See, the technology is just the tool. These are the things we're actually trying to achieve.
And when you dig into the details of how to reach this goal, it all kind of comes full circle. It's not about having tech just for the sake of having cool tech. It's about using that tech to make sure everyone has access to things like affordable housing, good transportation, safety, and nice public spaces. So maybe the smartest city isn't the one with the most gadgets and sensors. Maybe it's the one that's designed to hit these basic human goals for every single person who lives there.
So that leaves us with one last really important question to think about. As we're designing these cities of the future, what does smart really mean to us? Is it just about having the fastest network and the most brilliant technology? Or is it about how well we manage to include everyone in the amazing benefits that technology can bring? The answer we pick, well, that's going to shape what life is like in our cities for a long, long time.